Dear people, welcome to the show. Creative Universe Checkpoint Earth presents Union News, the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles. Today, we are going to talk about what that is, right? What is the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles? And maybe you feel like, ooh, that sounds good. I clearly need a Twin Flame Miracle in my life. I need a miracle to be able to go to my union, to manifest him back into my life, to bring her back from the other side of the earth to me again, and to change her heart so that they love me again. And that is the miracle that I need. And I understand. But here's the thing. True twin flame union, what you're actually wanting is the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. In that state, and I can give that to you, that's what all my work is for. So don't worry, you need to join behind the YouTube screen in the options that I give, but I can give it to you. So no worries. But that is the consciousness state that you actually long for, that will make everything easy and correct and just work like an actual romance that you desire. And you deserve that too. So I really would love to make that possible for you as well. And that's why I'm here. That's why we're talking. That's the reason we're in each other's lives. Here's the thing. Here's the deal. I'm just going to give it to you right away at the beginning of the show. Without further ado, here's the answer. That harmonious twin flame union is the miracle. It is the miracle. And you'll eventually understand that it's a miracle unfolding forever after. Unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. More and more and more. It's like an everlasting miracle itself that will happen in your life. Well, that's the truth of the matter. And today we're going to look at who is the facilitator of that. What is that? How can I invite this into my life? I think that's a good reason for being here today. So the real twin flame work happens on the inside, and then it will guaranteed manifest outside. In this series of lives, I share about what that means for my union consciousness process to inspire you to find yours, and it serves as a source for your regular twin flame news. Today on the show, we have the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles. And let me for a moment explain why we have the possibility to become a paid Patreon member on this and all live shows. You can listen to it and enjoy, and that is fine. But if you want the content of these shows to spiritually work healing on your union, you invest in the messages. That's how you support your union healing. Money unlocks it. And if you'd like to invest some in your union, there's also the once in a lifetime opportunity now to do so in the program Twin Flames Abundance Now, that brings you, besides to your harmonious union, also to your mission as Twin Flame Life Coach, making more than that investment back in due time. You are invited indeed. Well, to research about what that is, the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles, let's have a look at the Twin Flame Union Consciousness Wisdom of the day, because that just might help. And it is, without further ado, here it comes. Divine Mother arranges for the complete web of value that is interconnected in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And the teacher is doing her work on earth. So, Divine Mother arranges for the complete web of value that is interconnected in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And the teacher is doing her work on earth. Awesome. So, it starts to look like Divine Mother is actually the provider, the facilitator, the giver of twin flame miracles. And who is the receiver? Well, you, but actually not you, you and your twin flame. Your union is the receiver. And that union is one point in a complete web of all the unions of all the people. But the people are the unions. The union is the people, the person. The person is the union unit in Divine Mother's perspective. Divine Mother arranges for the complete web of value that is interconnected. So, Divine Mother is of giving nature. She shares love, light, value, energy through this web of all these unions, not people, but the unions, unit of what they in essence are. And all her love spreads. Is like she breathes out, and the breath that just feeds this entire web of interconnected unions out there. That is actually inside her heart. It's not even out there. Actually, that whole web of unions is Divine Mother. Wow. Can you imagine? Take that in. Take that in. And all of that is the truth when we look at the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. That is what the twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day says. What a beautiful truth of being. What a time to be alive to get that clear. And to step in that opportunity, to take the invitation and take your place inside that interconnected web. And this is the time, and this is your incarnation in which that can happen. You're now ready. For lifetimes, we've asked ourselves how to step into this, what to do, what's the secret. I still don't understand. And now it is presented to you. Now you have matured enough so that you now stand before the choice. Okay, I know that everything will change. And it is not said that it won't be difficult. But I say yes. I take a chance. I make a new choice. Let it start now. I've come this far. Let me now go all the way. I've come until here. Let me now accept the full invitation. Allow my heart to grow into this consciousness state. Allow my divine mind to come forward and show me what that means. That we are the union unit. So that I take my place in that, so that I get my definitive shape in that. Yeah, I think this is just a beautiful opportunity for now. And maybe it sounds to you very like, oh, but that sounds like mythological. Like, Petra, you're blowing everything up to mythological proportions. But that is actually the only way to say it. And it is appropriate. Because it is the leap that your soul longs for. And it is of the utmost importance for you, for everyone, for the graduation of the entire universe to step to a new, deeper, more expanded consciousness. And that is of mythological proportions. That's the time in which we live now. That is the opportunity that there is now from the divine out. So yeah, that is of mythological proportions, but I can't help that, That's just what it is, and it's beautiful, and it's just a blessing, and you can just accept it. And then you start to experience why it is said with this, like, grandeur, because that's how you feel it in yourself, that that is correct. And that's when it starts to work on you. That's when you start to understand what we're really doing here. Yeah. But there's more inside the twin flame union consciousness wisdom of the day. Let's read it again. Divine Mother arranges for the complete web of value that is interconnected in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union. And the teacher is doing her work on earth. All right. So Divine Mother is doing all this with you, for us, for all of us. But she needs people to bring this to you. Otherwise, it can't reach you. It can't reach your ears, right? It can't reach your perception. It can't reach your brain. It can't sink into your heart after it had reached your brain. So that's why I'm here. That's what it comes down to. Divine Mother needs people. She needs her people to come to you to bring you the message. And that's my work. Divine Mother needs hands and feet and a heart and a brain. Divine Mother needs my internet to come into your living room or wherever you are. Divine Mother needs me to do her work. So that's what it comes down to. Now, I'm a human being. It is incredibly beautiful, and I feel honored to do her work. And it is very special in a sense. It's my special function in a sense. It is my twin flame mission. And at the same time, I'm just a human being, that sleeps at night and gets up in the morning, eats breakfast, and goes to her um, workspace. This is in my workspace where my computer is, and I connect now with you through my computer, and where the internet is running, and where we meet. And, all of this is very human. This has taken me a couple decades to get here in all developments, to accept Divine Mother's proposal and to be the one that is connecting to you for her goals, and all the changes that brought into my life, into my body, into my personality, and into my core, into my house, into my living situation. And I need to pay for my groceries every time I go to the shop that is around the corner. So, one of the reasons why I also ask you money to do the real work in the program behind the YouTube screen, because this is all very human as well. And that, by your participation in that, you start to experience that these are not different realms. They are just realms that touch each other and actually mesh with each other. They're completely interwoven. The grandeur is as experience inside the very human thing. And how I was prepared to do that and give that to you, now you receive it, and you also start to experience that grandeur in your very human, humble daily life. And then also your twin flame starts to be activated and come to you in your humble daily life. Be next to you in your humble daily life, right? Wants to be next to you in that humble daily life. And you start to understand that the grandeur that you experience on the inside in the correct way is now inside your normal daily life. with money and health and body and sleep and friends and groceries and everything. Now you start to understand what the grandeur is when it's connected to that normal humbleness too. And we're together in that. That's how that teaching also works. That's also why, by the way, inside the Twin Flame program, that is, the door is open now, Twin Flame Abundance now, we have 24 plus uh, yearly topics of daily life that you can bring on the union level. That's just one of the layers of work that you can do inside of it, inside of the program. And that's also why I have integrated all these daily life topics there, for you to bring it on that grand level, the union level. Very interesting how that all worked out in all the many years before today, and how I now pass that on through that program. Very beautiful. And just in my work in general, because again, yeah, I said yes to doing Divine Mother's work. And that's how I'm able to bring you together with your true twin flame. For everyone that comes to me, I see immediate shifts, enormous shifts. Their twin flame starts to indeed turn around and move towards them. It happens all the time. It's just insane. I just have, I had needed some years to sort of calm down because it's so overwhelmingly big what my work does for you. And now I think I will never get used to it, but it is what Divine Mother does through me. And it's really special in a sense. It's really intimate, is I think what I'm trying to say. It's really intimate and it is grand at the same time. Yeah. You should experience it. It's really beautiful. Let's move on to the ACIM lesson of the day, because A Course in Miracles, I co-create all of this with this possibility to step into the work with me and then to have these results. I co-create that with the Christ Masters on Earth right now, and they're the ones that said, well, if you read the book Course in Miracles, then you get a pretty good sense of what union consciousness actually is, and then you go in the right direction of harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state that is for twin flames here. And that is beautiful that we can have that pointer just in a book. It's just so simple, right? Just in a book. So handy. So, and this book has many features, and one of them is one lesson a day. So let's look at the lesson of day 316. All gifts I give my brothers are my own. As every gift my brothers give is mine, because the day before we had another lesson in which it was the other way round. And now we're talking about this way round. So that's why the first sentence refers back to that. Once we're through that sentence, everything will smooth out and we'll just talk about all gifts I give my brothers are my own. As every gift my brothers give is mine, so every gift I give belongs to me. Each one allows a past mistake to go and leave no shadow on the holy mind my Father loves. His grace is given me in every gift a brother has received throughout all time, and past all time as well. My treasure house is full, and angels watch its open doors that not one gift is lost, and only more are added. Let me come to where my treasures are, and enter in where I am truly welcome and at home, among the gifts that God has given me. Father, I would accept your gifts today. I do not recognize them. Yet I trust that you who gave them will provide the means by which I can behold them, see their worth, and cherish only them as what I want. All gifts I give my brothers are my own. Well, it does seem to me like it is actually very much some sort of an extension of what we already talked about, which often happens here. That's how the show goes. Because Divine Mother reaches through me to you. That's what we just established. And all gifts I give my brothers and sisters, which is you, are my own. God reaches through me to you. And everything that is from God comes through me and is shared. Harmonious union comes from Divine Mother to me. I received it, and I became also the teacher of it when I extended that to you, where I saw that it worked every time. However amazing that sounds, or maybe unbelievable, but it's really true. Father, I would accept your gifts today. Father, Mother, whatever it is for you. ACIM really speaks very much to the father part. And I speak a lot about the mother part. But guess what? They belong together. When you speak about one, you also speak about the other because they're twin flames. Father, I would accept your gifts today. You know, if I wouldn't accept what Divine Mother gave me, I would never be able to be of any use to you in this live video, in the recording, in my YouTube channel, in my social media, in the Twin Flame money game that we're going to play next week when this is recorded, starting on Monday, November 17. You're invited. There's a link. When you go there, you can simply leave your name and email address. You're in. I would not be able to give you anything in the program, Twin Flame Abundance Now, that has the door open right now. There's a link to go look at it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do any of that and be of any use to you through these mediums. But because Father and Mother, the Twin Flame gods, give what I pass on. That's why it works. And I accepted their gifts. And that's like my secret sauce. I do not recognize them. That's true. Like my body personality can't see it. But if I tune in to that inner seeing, then I can. And I can recognize it. Yet I trust that you who gave them will provide the means by which I can behold them. Yeah, so the body personality me can't even see it because it has not the right eyes for it. So I even need to like ask God for the right eyes and then I can inner see it. How interesting, right? The means by which I can behold them, see their worth, and cherish only them as what I want. Right. I recognize for myself very much that that was the process that I underwent until I am here today, sharing what I share with you as the sharer of miracles for Divine Mother that I have become. I have chosen to only go for this and not for the world and not for everything the world represents, like unconnected money numbers, unconnected work, unconnected riches and social life. No, I only chose that interconnected one. And that's why I can do what I can do for you. Let me come to where my treasures are and enter in where I am truly welcome and at home among the gifts that God has given me. Yeah, so that's what I did eventually. And that's how I can give you what you also desire so deeply. And when you keep on being connected to me, it can start to rain all these gifts on you too continually. And you'll be able to have your cup filled, have your union manifest, have your mission started, and it will all work out for you what you always wanted. That romance with that ultimate partner that you might already know who that is or might not, but it is the true one that will come to you through my work. So, who is the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles? I think it is safe to say that it is Divine Mother through me. And if I did nothing, nothing would reach you. And in that regard, it is me. Let's move on to this segment from one of my books. Because I have my own books, you can open them as if it was an oracle and then see what passage comes up. And I found this passage, and this is going to be interesting because it's going to be a passage that I'm going to read for you. And, some parts of my work, and therefore also some parts of my book, are actually it is some sort of a form that is meant to stir something up in you. And it is another kind of way of writing than when I try to give you an explanation that is 200% the right explanation in a very logical way. No, I try to evoke a form of, well, in this case, maybe even being sort of irritated by something a little bit, like, what is this? So that you start to question yourself, so that you, through questioning yourself, become open for something new. Because we can't reach union with old ideas. We can't, because you already tried them all, right? You already tried all your ideas. You already worked through everything that you could come up with to make this relationship work with them. And it didn't work out yet. That's why you're here. That's okay. So it has become clear that for twin flame union and harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state that it's all about, to work out, you need to let go of all these old ideas that it is not and it was never. So some parts of my books are to sort of wake you up, and they may even sound like, oh, but that's not twin flames, but it makes you question. And then by that opportunity to question yourself and to be a tiny little bit confused, you might just open your mind so that then will be revealed the truth of twin flames that is already inside of you, waiting to be discovered. So you can discover your wisdom there. So I think this segment even holds an interesting idea about sex and relationships. Like, what kind of form do you like? And be honest for a moment that maybe your personality, your ego personality self, what we normally in daily life and how you grew up and how you were educated and whatnot, regard as yourself, be honest for a moment about that self. Like, what it all wants and desires and has done and craved and whatnot. And just be egotistical for a moment, if you will, and find out what that is. And don't be ashamed of that, because egos can never reach union. So that's okay. It's okay to have all these things. It's just that you can't reach union through it. But it's good to have that reveal to you what it all is not, so that you then can let that go. Like, so it's okay to have all these weird thoughts in my mind about what I all desire and want in life. And it's okay. That's just my ego. And then maybe it then softens up a little bit so that you become like, oh, right. This, all this weird stuff, but it's just this weird stuff. It's just ego weird stuff. And Oh, and now I become more open to, oh, okay, but now there's a real truth. Oh, now the real truth can also come through because I first acknowledged the craziness, right? That is okay. It's just the craziness. And then you can become open for what there's more than that. And then the truth can bubble up. And the truth is just for the very, 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 very most people that there's just one other twin flame and you're just destined to be with them and that's it. That's a short story. But it is I mean, it is difficult, is apparently. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about it. All right, so let's see. This segment is called Respect. As creativity is the competence of the future for professionals of all kinds, the artist being the model of a new paradigm of working in our everyday business and lives, we will want to create with others. When co creation, thus, is our highest ideal, to make it come true in a harmonious, sustainable, and free fashion, we have to look at our relationship to ourselves first. That is the place where any creation always starts. And our soul working together with our personality is clearly the benchmark here. The relationship between the soul and the personality could be made visible and understandable for us when we use the idea of the love relationship. In our culture, we often have our mindset placed firmly on an exclusive relationship with our lover. But in truth, wouldn't you like to have an extra boyfriend or girlfriend? Do you think this is not possible because of your partner's morals? Out of respect of the other person, I mutilated myself. This may indeed be to trigger you into an opening of your mindset only, but what kind of respect is that? In which country does that mean respect? And how do you think the other person will make this feel? No one can have an actual, honest, deep relationship that shuts parts of themselves off. The lover will one day be punished for being the cause of your self mutilation, consciously or unconsciously. And nobody wants to be the cause of the self destruction of another. That's how a love relationship becomes a battlefield quickly and easily. Throwing your desires away or declare them not feasible under the disguise of spiritual or any other highly valued flag will only add more layers to the lie that you are selling yourself continually. This attitude, full of making assumptions, is killing for any real attempt to get your share in the promise of great love between partners that life laid into your heart. Now, let's say it's your personality that is desiring multiple lovers, and your soul is the partner whom we assure doesn't allow us those richnesses and experiences. Because we believe the soul is the holy grail, and we must live up to its high standards to be worthy. Discarding the truth of our experience and portraying a pure act at all times and at all costs with a rule set of any religion or mindset that we fancy in our hands to justify our ideas. But that would mean we don't have any actual experiential contact with our soul because this open field of potentiality, full of life's essence, of a giving nature and non moralistic in character, cannot possibly work like that. Instead of feeling the life force within us and cooperate with it, we project all kinds of rules and attributes to them and attribute them to the soul that in fact doesn't know anything about our ways of thinking and that are obviously created in separation and not in relation. We only have thoughts about the soul, but we apparently lack the actual contact. Realizing that could mean that you have to see the truth about certain aspects of yourself that you dislike, such as being relatively closed off and habitually brain oriented. That's how you see that, for instance, watching porn also is not a real solution for the earlier stated relationship problem, because it is just only a mental satisfaction, not an actual soulful life experience. It's just misguiding yourself in the illusion you are free. You might just not be aware of this, because when you would be really aware of all these and potential other desires and the way you think it should be handled, it would not have been there in the first place. So, one thing you could do is trust the fact that you do have desires and thus be more aware of it in the first place. Now, the word trust is mentioned. We see it is placed in the relationship to yourself. Well, that's in fact sheer logic. Trust comes from yourself, never from the other person. So, waiting until the other trusts you with an extra girl or boyfriend is an illusion too. The logic of trust coming from within should be appealing to you. Trust does indeed truly comes from within oneself. Trust comes from trusting the bigger whole one lives inside. And you yourself are always the first appointed person to take that opportunity. Real life experience I myself gained in this is, for instance, telling my parents at a very certain point, listen, I need a big amount of money because I need to do this course. I'm sure I need it, being sure that they actually wouldn't understand, but they did because of a deep sense of soul trust between us and gave me the money. We had a problematic relationship in the past, you see, and I knew this would even get better because of the course. Hope you see the analogy here. It's not the norm for a 30 something woman to ask her parents for money. So I, of course, experienced the extra girlfriend and boyfriend situation, both being that one and wanting it. As everything I pass on in my work and life comes from through my comes through my own experience first. It's about trusting something inside of you that is deeper and more basic than the outside situations, and about speaking up about that right within your imperfect life situation. And it's the sense of trust between people you actually gain from that. From speaking up about your deep truths and the more shallow needs that come with it naturally, like time, money, and in our example situation, sexual love attention, we gain more trust and get to relationship at a soul level, visible and tangible. Or you lose the connection, that's the risk. But your soul speaking up is actually never a risk, since it's you, and you always gain in a relationship with your soul. When the soul is finally being revealed as the source of freedom that is even connected to our personality needs in our imperfect situations, instead of a demanding agent of purity rules, and having your desires instead is understood as coming from a good nature, being a human with a natural birthright to have a rich experience, you might be surprised how the sometimes irritating and emotionally damaged personality will fall into the bigger whole peacefully. It will even want to drop obsolete desires that don't actually contribute to the relationship with the soul naturally when time has come. Or these desires are suddenly or gradually granted and made true by life itself, because the trust in yourself touches the delivery laws of the universe and moves mountains for it to become reality. Freedom re enters your co creation and respect returns. Trust in oneself is restored, and creation will be more aligned with the soul and its true desires. Why it incarnated here now, excluding no possibilities, but including the penetrating influence of the soul represented by the concept of the other appearing in your reality. The other and or the soul in truth is never demanding. It's sadly always you yourself that pushes and mutilates you. Instead, the other, the soul, is a source of wisdom and growth that we can long to drink from. And that's when co creation begins. Every wisdom you need is already inside your soul, but since we are most of the time identified with our personality, wisdom could, in a way, be said to reside in the other, the soul. So, wisdom is indeed inside of you as long as you make your individual connection real to the places of higher wisdom that you can read. And in that way, you easily make contact with those places that resonate with it within the other too. A rich, creative conversation might thus take flight. The wisdom that flows naturally through you when personality and soul are clicked in with each other, and that has a relation to the energy field that is your source material, being sexual in nature, why the analogy of the sexual love relationship was presented here in the first place, needs to go to people that can hear by the working of universal law. In that way, a co creation with the soul touches other people's lives, whether professionally or privately. And co creations between partners that both listen to their soul and are in true co creative conversation with one another can influence big audiences. That audience may, however, not be existing of friends in the usual sense for you because you have to channel the right intention in the right energy holder. And those receiving parties are resonant with vibration and not with the appearance you expect them to have. Don't confuse the holders by staying shallow and distant. Don't try to force things through someone that belongs to another stream, meaning audience and messenger will find each other through natural magnetism when you are grounded in co creational soul gravity. That is how a soul based creative team operates by staying vigilant and act through energetic co creation that is non manipulative. This is exactly what professionals are here in the creative leadership program for to unlearn. So, creative leadership is now part of the Twin Flame Abundance Now program so that the divine abundance can enter the soul, which its truth of soul money as your with its truth of soul money as your biggest good, and the one twin flame as co-creational partner. And that's how it all together. We eventually come out always at the true twin flame in union and in mission. That's where we always come out inside because that's what we are. That's the highest expression of what you are and can be. And what I like about this piece of text is that the facilitator of twin flame miracles is also placed, according to this text, in first accepting your freaking life, your freaking personality, your freaking ego, your freaking emotions, your desires. Like, we're not here to numb that out. We're not here, even though it is so grand what God gives and whatnot, and it is so true. But when we start to work on the other side, on our daily life experience side, we're not going to step over that to some sort of, yeah, one big leap to God. And then we just completely ignore our desires, our personalities, our the messes that we have in our psychology and whatnot. No, not at all. That's also not how the twin flame inner work with the key tool that you will need to do to make all these steps. How that goes is not how that goes. Step one of the four steps of the key tool is always to first fully pronounce and write down, if you can, what is going on. Just be honest about what is really going on in your life. Like, what a mess. I actually have 5 dates at the same time. But I say that I want my true twin flame, but I mean, apparently not or something. I'm confused. You know, if that's the case, then you need to say that. Like, without morals or without judgment. Maybe that's better to say. Without judgment. Because that's where it starts. If that's your reality, then don't numb it out. Don't try to go to the grandeur of God by stepping over that. No, no. You go there by completely the opposite, by accepting all of that and feeling how it feels and turning it around, doing the key tool. That's what I'm saying. And healing inside of you what needs to be healed there. And then landing in a deeper place where you might see the first glimpse of, oh, now I see the next step towards my union and mission that is real. Okay. Okay. I see the step now. You see? So that's what I really like about this piece of text. Yeah. Lovely. Let's go to the oracle guidance of the day with my union and mission cards that I invented myself together with Divine Mother. I saw the card. Here it is. A 3.2. We see a flame and an egg. From empty to full of meaning. Artist, inspirator, what? Let's see on my screen. We have the booklet. I'm going to check out what the meaning is and what the text is that belongs to it. The spark of fulfillment. You are being invited to take the step to travel to your new way of being that is now open for you and in front of you. You are at the threshold of a new space, and the emptiness that opens up can become filled right now with the energy of your presence, with the spark of your soul and passion. Just like the seed and the egg come together and merge to transform together into something that is at this stage not yet recognizable, however, the blueprint of it exists. That way, your now freed up soulfulness will impregnate the vacant space and thus add the value to it necessary to be able to grow an entirely new world. This new world will embrace you like a warm blanket and will fit you like a glove. This may, for a moment, still seem unattainable and strange, and it indeed is something mysterious, a magical moment. Enjoy this moment fully and allow this creative instinct to do what it desires by itself. You can trust that you are there already. You have already arrived. Now your perception can approach the new situation further and relax into it so that you can see, experience, feel that nothing is needed besides the surrender to this being. When you can relax into this creative moment, you will understand many things and to learn to hear profundity through surface things. This relaxation does not need to be without action. The energy that is freed up in this deeply inspired moment will much more likely simply help you stay inside a nice and steady flow of alternating steps and pause. Underneath the surface, there is a very important effect that is happening here: the fertilization of the newly acquired inner space that will translate itself into outer space, new life force, the zest for communication with your twin flame, arranging a meeting with them, move deeper into union by getting to know them more, moving the relationship into a new phase, such as engagement to become married, feeling your heart, what it exactly is that is now instigated as creation for you. With your creative qualities, you can show people what they can be if and when they will accept their total self. You can be instigator of other people's union in that sense. That was the union meaning of the card, and the mission meaning I will put in the show notes. And every time after the recording, I put the show notes in my Patreon. You can become a member of the Patreon, and then you will also have the opportunity to every month enjoy a new deal that is made intensely more cheap for you. And it's a choice of the readings and coaching sessions and whatnot that I have available. And I will read to you at the end in a moment what that is for November. So, what is the facilitator? Or who is the facilitator of Twin Flame Miracles? Well, I think we just pointed to this whole new extra meaning of that. And that is that the messy life, the personality, the desires, the body, the daily life, the you that is simply here, the you that is stumbling around, already being someone, already having the value buried deep inside of your heart that can come up and come to bloom, and that we're going to accept to have any step one of the key tool to go deeper towards your harmonious twin flame union. That situation is actually, whatever it is, the magic. It is it holds the magic. Whatever your twin flame is doing at this moment, they ran away, they don't talk to me anymore in my app, on my phone, they live in another culture, have another religion, live on the other side of the world, they are married, they have another, they're constantly dating someone else, they're unkind to me, to say the least, or really rude or whatever. They deny that I exist, but they actually already met me. Whatever it is, this whole situation holds the magic. It does hold the magic for you. It holds the potential of transformation for you into being in harmonious twin flame union together with your twin flame, experiencing the romance of eternity that you came to the earth for. It holds the potential for it. The facilitator of twin flame miracles is the magic of whatever situation you're in now. Whatever the form is, whatever the ego personality is, whatever the twin flame is doing that you don't like, this is the fertile ground for your next step. And you need to accept it. You need to love it. You need to embrace it. And not numb it out, not trying to step over it. Not at all. It's the wrong process. It will lead to nothing. The facilitator of twin flame miracles is the magic of the now. And you can now consciously approach that now situation and the mess of it and the magic of it. You can approach it with acceptance so that the magic of it will come forward. And so that within the magic, you start to see it as a prayer and experience it as a prayer to go to the miracle. Magic to unlock the miracle. What about that? And the miracle is the twin flame union itself. It is harmonious twin flame union lived by you and your twin flame inside that consciousness state in the eternal now, unfolding more and more, coming more and more to bloom in everything that you ever desired. That is the alive miracle that is called in via exactly where you're now and no other place. Yeah. So we extended the whole meaning of what is the facilitator of twin flame miracles to yet another meaning. And I hope that helped. I choose now to explore the most complete depths of my being. I surrender my mind completely to God that He may bring it into perfect harmony with His. I invite God now into my very core that He may make it right, returning it perfectly to its state of eternal wholeness. I trust in the power of divine love. I choose to see the truth that is universally accepted by all, the core of every child of God, including me. We are all one with our twin flames and God. It is safe for me to open completely to love now. My love. Love is not elusive unless you command it so. But don't worry, you could not choose against love itself because you are love itself, manifest as you eternally. If you command it to leave, love does not leave because it cannot possibly leave, but you leave love by the power of your command. And by that same power, you can command yourself to return to love. And it is so, revealing to you that love never left. It is safe to let go. It is safe to relax into love's eternal presence. Love is calling you home, and I'll be there waiting. I have always been here with you, and I always will be. Your next step. Don't forget to actually start the process and jump on the team. Actively come to our community, start doing the correct inner work, and ask the support you deserve through our services so that we can start a relationship that will lead you to harmonious union and beyond. When you're not in a relationship, you're not on the team, and you can't expect the results I'm speaking of and, in fact, guaranteeing. Currently, the door towards the year group program to Inflame Abundance Now is open. A new version, especially for those that want to become a union coach and make your own money, but also for those that simply want to go to their twin flame union. I am looking for 6 people to step into this abundant opportunity. Info at creativeuniverse.earth/abundance now or the link below. The show notes. You can, however, support this ongoing live Twin Flame news as such, make it possible as co-creator. Without your participation and financial gifts, I cannot do anything because we need to have an energetic and verbal visual exchange for things to make sense and to know what I need to talk about for you. And also, we're on Earth. That necessarily always works with money as a means to make sacred content actually physically flow. Therefore, I post the show notes in Patreon. Come over and enjoy. Have influence on the broadcasts because I ask there what you want me to talk about next. Please let me know. Don't miss out on the behind the scenes experience. Patreon.com/PEJ at Creative Universe or the link below. And November 2025's Patreon subscriber action for second tier members is the Creative ID reading, creativeuniverse.earth/reading/#CID only for €88 plus 21% VAT instead of €222 plus 21% VAT official price. In this reading, you get so many clues about who your twin flame really is in practice, in collaborating with you for your union's mission. And you receive ideas on how to definitively call them in, including multimedia channeled symbols, sounds, and sayings, essentially giving you what we talked about in the show today as magic to go to your miracle. Ask me for a pay link for this very special offer. I am Petra, in the consciousness state of harmonious twin flame union since March 2020. Worked with the Christ Masters on Earth right now to roll this consciousness state out so everyone can enjoy the abundant life with their true twin flame right now. Or soon enough, rather, after going in with me right here. Don't search any further. You reached what you were looking for. Om. Amen.